Earlier this year, Ocean Infinity began a major 15,000 square kilometer search for MH370 under a no-find, no-fee deal with the Malaysian government. Using state-of-the-art underwater drones, they focused on a critical area in the southern Indian Ocean. Expectations were high, but now, a surprising twist. Armada 7806, the main search vessel, has suddenly left the area and is heading back to Singapore. So, what happened? Has the search come to an end? Let's uncover the truth. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 on March 8, 2014 remains one of the biggest mysteries in aviation history. While much has been uncovered over the years, many questions still remain unanswered. In early March, the company resumed the search from where it ended in 2018, deploying its vessel Armada. Armada 7806 was equipped with advanced AUVs capable of diving to depths of 6,000 meters and staying submerged for up to 4 days. The mission focused on a zone recommended by independent investigators, Bobby Ulich and Victor Ianello. This area, partially explored before, needed a more detailed examination. It lies roughly 2,000 kilometers west of Perth, Australia, centered around 34.2 degrees south and 93.8 degrees east. After scanning the seabed near the 7th arc for several days, Armada 7806 sailed to Perth for refueling and supplies. On March 6, 2025, the vessel returned for Phase 2, targeting the BLY Marchand area, suggested by Jean-Luc Marchand and retired Air France pilot Patrick Bailey, which had never been searched before. The BLY Marchand search area is centered around 35.7 degrees south and 93 degrees east. However, after several days with seemingly no results, Ocean Infinity began sailing towards Singapore, abruptly halting the search for MH370. While the company hasn't issued an official statement explaining the pause, Malaysia's transport minister confirmed the current search has been suspended.
Right, moving on, the search for Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 by Ocean Infinity has been halted.
I think right now it's not the season. I think they have stopped the operation for the time being.
The Armada 7806 was tracked leaving the search zone on March 28, 2025, traveling at 10 knots on a 10-day trip to Singapore. Some believe this move signaled a failed deal with Malaysia, but according to Transport Minister Anthony Loke, the agreement with Ocean Infinity was officially signed on March 25, 2025.
Yes, the agreement has been signed.
It's still unclear whether Armada 7806 was actively searching before the contract was officially signed, as the vessel had been near the 7th arc since late February. Now it appears the primary reason Ocean Infinity paused its MH370 search and plans to resume later in 2025, during the Southern Hemisphere's summer, is due to weather constraints in the area. While the return to Singapore might seem like a setback, it's actually part of a strategic plan to restart operations under better conditions. Sources reveal the contract includes an 18-month search window, giving Ocean Infinity flexibility to delay if necessary. When the search resumes, a larger vessel might be needed to cover more ground quickly. Although Armada 7806 is highly advanced, it can only deploy 3 AUVs, compared to the 8 used in the 2018 seabed constructor mission. As of now, it's unknown whether Ocean Infinity discovered any wreckage or debris. It will take several days to analyze the data collected by its 3 Huygens 6000 AUVs. Processing time depends on the complexity. Basic tasks are quicker, while high-resolution 3D mapping or environmental surveys may take longer, especially after data is transferred to land-based systems. As Ocean Infinity analyzes the collected data, key areas remain unexplored. One such location is Broken Ridge at 32.5 degrees south and 96.5 degrees east. American amateur investigator Blaine Gibson, who has recovered 22 pieces of debris, and oceanographer Chari Patiarachi believe this area should be the next search target. Gibson and Patiarachi argue that future searches shouldn't be limited to the 7th arc, but should extend from 28.3 degrees south to 33.2 degrees south. Additionally, independent investigator Richard Godfrey has proposed a site centered at 29.128 degrees south and 99.934 degrees east, which remains largely unsearched. Less than half of Godfrey's suggested zone has been examined in past missions. Using groundbreaking signal propagation analysis, Godfrey has leveraged global aircraft detection and tracking software to pinpoint potential crash locations. Godfrey has used this technology to fill in the gaps left by traditional radar and satellite tracking, refining the search zone. WSPR works through a global network of radio transmitters that send out weak signals capable of traveling over 10,000 kilometers, often bouncing off the ionosphere and curving around Earth. Godfrey analyzed how these signals are disturbed by the passage of an aircraft, helping him trace possible flight paths. Using this data, he recreated a trajectory similar to the one based on Inmarsat data and Zahari Shah's home flight simulator. However, this path includes multiple turns, especially after the final heading into the Indian Ocean, rather than following a straight line. When combined with other available information, this analysis contributes to narrowing down where MH370 might have crashed. While some researchers view Godfrey's findings as an important lead, others continue to question the reliability and accuracy of this method. A key part of Godfrey's theory is the belief that MH370 likely entered a high-speed dive before crashing into the sea. Since its disappearance, the plane's final moments have sparked intense debate among investigators. Some experts suggest the aircraft may have glided, allowing it to travel farther. They point to the condition of the flaperon found on Reunion Island, which showed little damage, indicating a possible controlled ditching. On the other hand, some argue that the plane hit the ocean at high speed, noting the wide dispersal of debris and absence of large fuselage pieces, evidence that would likely exist if it had glided. In addition, Inmarsat satellite data reveals MH370 continued sending signals for hours after losing communication with air traffic control. This supports the theory that the aircraft flew on autopilot for an extended period, burning fuel slowly. It also aligns with the possibility that MH370 may have glided for a while after running out of fuel, though opinions remain divided. Many, including Godfrey, believe that MH370 crashed into the ocean at high speed, possibly in a controlled or intentional manner. One of the main pieces of evidence supporting this theory is the fragmented interior debris from the plane, suggesting a violent impact before sinking. While this evidence is compelling, some argue that the debris might have been caused by the plane breaking into large pieces either during its descent or upon hitting the water. The discovery of fragmented interior parts doesn't necessarily disprove the gliding theory, but may indicate that the aircraft's structure was damaged or compromised during the final stages of flight. Whether MH370 glided or impacted the ocean at high speed remains an unresolved question due to limited evidence and the enigmatic nature of the case. Both theories are still possible, but definitive proof is yet to be found, and investigations continue to examine all possibilities. That being said, it's still uncertain whether we'll ever uncover significant wreckage or smaller pieces of debris. We'll have to wait and see if a third phase of the renewed search occurs at the end of 2025. And if it does, we'll see whether it brings us any closer to solving the mystery of MH370. Be sure to check out our previous video on MH370, where we explore the events surrounding its disappearance and examine why it has taken so long to locate the wreckage. What's your opinion? Do you think MH370 impacted the ocean at high speed or glided? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.